What's going on, Thunder fans? We are back for another episode, another show, another Thunder Things. I'm Zach.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Thunder Guys. Thank you so much for joining us on this fine Tuesday evening. It
is a fine Tuesday.
It was pretty nice weather.
Not too shabby.
It was cold this morning. I was up at the bright, ripe hour of 6 a.m.
I didn't get up till 10, so.
Oh, well, you lucky jerk. It was
That's
cold
early for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably. You're on a little bit different schedule than I am, so.
A little bit.
You know, no biggie.
Yeah, it's okay.
So it's okay.
It's life.
Yeah. Different people in different places doing different things in different spaces.
Big world. Lots of smells.
Did you just make that up? Because I totally just made up what I did.
No, I was quoting The Office.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's such a great show. You know how I be.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was quoting.
Let's jump in here. Let's talk about some things. Man, I am, honest to goodness, I'm ready to talk about some stuff. I know we've not been as consistent lately with some crazy life schedule stuff going on, and
you have not.
Yeah, it's really been more me than you.
This.
It's been more me than you. That's fair. It's cool. And because of that, I feel like we've missed some things. Not like a lot of things, but we've missed some things. So, the things that I'm really excited to talk about are the Russell Westbrook incidents as of late. I feel like he's been in the middle of a couple of them. The Kerfuffles, as I like to call them.
That's what I was looking at this word here. Is this a real word?
It's a word. Take it from the English teacher. It's a real word. But for sure. So we're going to talk about...
What is the exact definition?
I believe it has something to do with chaos and disruption. You know, it's a good word for incident, a fight, if you will, in the basketball world. But he's definitely been...
A commotion or fuss?
Would you call these two recent incidents kerfuffles?
Yeah,
I definitely think
I
think so. I think it's suitable. So we're gonna jump into that, but before we get into the details of that, let's do a quick run through of the last week or so.
The beginning of it, thumbs down.
We had a rough start. Well, when did we play the Pelicans? Was that last Wednesday?
I don't know.
Let me pull up my
It was a while ago.
The old schedule. We
We
played the Pelicans last Wednesday, so 6 days ago. Since we lost to New Orleans in New Orleans, it was a winnable game.
It was the poor defense.
And Anthony Davis was doing some things.
Yeah, you can't let a dude score 40. Was it 44 points? And
I don't know, but
I think it was 44.
He's
and
a
expects to
monster.
win. And not only that though is Anthony Davis was having his way whenever he was on the court, and then when he was off the court, the Thunder were still losing those minutes. And it's like you can't beat a team when their best players, like if you're not outscoring them when their best players on the bench, you're not going to win the game. Simple as that. And it's not like the offense was terrible. I mean, if I remember right, I feel like Russ and Paul George shot around 50%. It was just, what was it? We gave up 118, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We gave up points. I'll tell you that.
So, we've already established that the Thunder's offense is not good enough to win games when you allow that many points. Let's see here. Yeah, 118.
And this is a game I did not get to see hardly any of, so the offense was bad to start.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess picked up.
Yeah.
Correct, towards the end.
Yeah, Schroeder, Westbrook, and Paul George were all 50% from the floor.
I mean, you would think that would be enough.
Yeah, especially 114. Free throws at 63%. Not great.
Yeah, and they were ugly.
Also attempted 43 shots from beyond the arc.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me, was the fact that we shot a season high.
Cut that in half.
From deep.
Cut that in half, and that's still too many.
This team, just not good. Not good at all. Listen, and we've talked about this before. We've talked about this plenty, about this team and what they're doing from beyond the arc. When it comes down to it, I really don't want them shooting a lot. When they're hot, that's fine. Maybe put up a few more, but I'll have to. If you give me a second, I can pull it up. But our record when we shoot 30-ish or more threes is not good. It's not a good number. It's a struggle streak for sure.
We still shot a higher percent than the Pelicans, though, who were 22%.
Which is
But they only attempted 18, so.
Yeah, obviously, but didn't they score 70-something in the paint? It was some ridiculous
it was
number.
bad.
Shouldn't have happened. Anyways. So moving on to I'm going to be looking up that stat. But
moving on to Denver.
We can move on to Denver for sure. Another tough one.
Yeah, again, a great night from Adams and Paul George. Specifically Adams, who had 26 points and 14 rebounds. But the bench was nowhere to be found. I mean, Alex Abrines played 18 minutes and took one shot, which I know we give the guy a hard time if he takes a lot of shots and doesn't make them. But at the same time, there's no way if you're a shooter you should be playing 18 minutes and only taking one shot. 14 points off the bench isn't going to cut it.
Have you seen the meme with the dude? He's holding a stick. And he's like, do something.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like Alex... Listen, Alex has to do something to stay in the court. And I like the guy a lot, but I don't like the fact that he's been even more inconsistent than he was a season ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of, the different health issues here and there or whatever you want to call it. But
our entire bench was in the negative on the plus-minus. But to be fair, so was the starting lineup, besides Terrence Ferguson, who was a +1. So,
that just makes sense because Terrence Ferguson's our best player.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that stat, by the way?
Yeah, go for it.
When we shoot 32 or more threes, we are 8-7. When we shoot
go ahead.
When we shoot 28 or fewer, because there's no 29, 30, 31 games. When we shoot 28 or fewer, we are 11-3.
It's pretty solid.
So to me,
but I somehow expected the 30 and up to be worse than 8-7.
Here's the thing: you can't pick one stat and say they're directly correlated, but there's definitely some relevance.
It's got to mean something.
Some relation for sure. So I'm just big on saying we need to cut it down on the 3-point shooting. I think that's going to make the biggest difference in the long run. 43 is too many in Denver, and then we turned around and 43 is too much
in New Orleans.
Yeah. And then we turned around in Denver, and we shot only 19.
Perfect.
Which is, that's like 10 fewer than our average. And the thing was, we made 7 of them. It wasn't terrible. It's almost like they overcompensated.
Yeah, but you checking these free throws? You looking at that? Because you should be.
17 for 29. About as expected. No, for real. That's even worse than what the Thunder's done for the season. So, all around ugly. That's not good. Shot 41% from the field there.
Yeah, Paul George came on strong at the end to give the Thunder a chance. They cut it within like 6 or 7, but Denver quickly just put an end to that, and that was the end of it.
This was another game I did not get to catch.
The Thunder just didn't do enough things to win the game. I mean, if you look at every category, essentially, Denver was better. They had double the amount of assists that we had, out-rebounded us. I don't feel like the Thunder should be getting out-rebounded by anybody. I mean,
no.
Could be a hot take there. I don't know. But
I tend to agree with you. It also, it's not good when the other team shoots near perfect from the free throw line.
Yeah.
And you're making maybe half of them. And they shot half of the number. So you have essentially the same number of makes in half the trips. That's not good.
Yeah, no doubt. But the next night was much better.
I think it kind of woke them up a little bit, and the final score is definitely not indicative of how that game went.
Yeah, the Thunder should have put them away on multiple occasions.
Won the first 3 quarters, went into the fourth up by, 17, and then kind of let up there in the end. Wasn't it, if I remember correctly, wasn't it the bench that allowed them to get back into it?
Yeah.
And then the starters had to come back in to kind of settle things down and finish off. And here's the thing about this Clippers team. There are a bunch of dudes that they're all right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
they're not a garbage team like I thought they were going to be. I'll just be honest.
For sure. They've exceeded my expectations.
They've already got more wins than I thought they were going to have. Not really, but but they're they're positive for sure. I didn't think they were going to be even anywhere near sniffing the playoffs, but Tobias Harris, he's got to be the best guy on the team in my opinion. But then Danilo Gallinari, he's a guy who's capable any given night, especially when that given night is a game against the Thunder. For some reason, he lights it up against us. And but in the end, obviously, the stuff with Patrick Beverley, he got a tech. The best part was, did you see how it happened?
Yeah, I watched the game, but I'm blanking right now. What?
He is jawing at the lady ref. I can't remember.
And he just keeps going.
And he kept going, and Schroeder goes, "You gonna let him talk to you like that?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Beep," and tees him up real fast.
Because it was late.
Awesome.
Like, it seemed delayed. Yeah, for sure.
It was, and he was all upset. He couldn't believe that it had happened that way, and everything like that. But I mean, to me, it was pretty obvious. He'd earned it. He deserved it. He's just a jackwagon. He really is. And
I feel like the Clippers lead the league in homeless-looking players.
Milos, is that his name?
Yeah, and then and then Patrick Beverley, of course, is a rough-looking fella.
It's the hair, man.
Gortat is also could pass as.
Gortat also looks like some kind of Russian gangster.
Yeah, and then I always laugh at Mike Scott just because of like Michael Scott.
Yeah.
And how he doesn't go by Michael is beyond me.
It's probably on purpose.
I feel like I would totally do that.
Like you will never know the struggle of sharing a name with somebody famous. Okay.
Get out of here with your. I know where you're going with this.
Your name is unique for one, and I thought Zach Lowe was, but the ESPN reporter, the writer, I can't tell you how often people talk about him on the Sports Animal or he's on the Sports Animal, and then I've got friends like, dude, I just listened to you on the radio. I'm like, you don't even know what I sound like. Obviously, like it's not me. I'm just gonna start taking credit for it. I'm not that Zach.
You should.
Lowe. No, I mean, but our names are spelled differently. He's got an E on the end of his, which is weird because the word Lowe does not have an E. So many people want to add an E to the end of mine. I can't tell you how many.
That's weird.
No E.
Yeah.
It's just L-O-W. When people ask me my name, Zach Lowe, L-O-W. I just spell it for them that way. L-O-W-E? Did I hear an E? No, you wanted to hear it, but it's not there. Moving on to Chicago last night. This is the type of performance that the Thunder should have had against the Bulls 10 days ago, or 11 days ago now.
Early on, it looked rough again.
It was, the Thunder were up by like 9 in the first quarter, but then the second quarter, they let it collapse and got down to like 4 again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Paul George was like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm here to play basketball." Right. And he started doing something.
That lead came on late in the. I mean, they jumped out early with a couple of shots, but then they were 2 of 11 before going on and taking the lead. So it was very like, I think Brett Dawson put like the Thunder right now, and it was like a low battery sign. So,
Matt Pinto, because I was listening to on the radio, I was driving home actually. He kept saying that the Bulls were playing a very grindy game. They were trying to grind out a win.
Ew.
And that's what Memphis used to do, if you remember. You had a good team like the Thunder, and Memphis would wear you down. And the Bulls were doing that, and they were forcing ugly shots, forcing misses, and allowing themselves to hang around. And third quarter didn't play super well. Finished the second quarter. Finished going into the half just on a ridiculous run. Played okay in the third and then maintained in the fourth. Finished off strong. Russ messed around. He got another triple-double. Paul George, pretty solid.
Has been Paul George, yeah.
He shot 8 for 19, 24 points. Steven Adams holding it down, 8 for 14. Jeremy Grant, he did all right.
I talked about it in the recap, but the best part of Westbrook's stat line for me is the 5 steals and how some of those steals came. He was diving on the floor.
You remember how many he had against the Clippers?
6?
He had 6. Yeah. That's a lot of steals in back-to-back games.
Yeah, for sure. But it just goes to show you, we've talked about this before, is like Russ gets it done in other areas, and no one's really going to talk much about that.
Because he's not been shooting well. I mean, he was 5 of 13, which still isn't great for him.
It's not great, but it's not horrible either.
Listen, only 13 shots.
I thought it was more of a refreshing stat line to see from him, as opposed to, and he didn't attempt any shots from the 3.
Well, since we're talking about him really quick, I had this topic saved for later in the story, but let's answer it now. Is Russ good at defense? Yes or no?
Yeah. When he wants to be.
Okay.
He was all defensive team at UCLA.
Okay, so why is he not all defensive NBA right now? Or ever?
Because it's effort.
Okay, so...
And I'm not saying that Russ isn't the guy to go out there and give effort. I'm saying he picks and chooses where he, puts his energy, if that makes sense. And I feel like it is annoying, but I feel like he knows that he's struggling. The Thunder has enough defense right now.
So here's an idea for you.
But if he's struggling on offense, then why not find ways to contribute on defense?
Or a take, perhaps, if you want to call it that. Here's my statement. Russ struggling from the field shooting is a good thing because he has to do other things like play better defense. Now, I want to see him start shooting better.
Of course.
Obviously. And I'm pretty sure he's averaging his lowest points per game in a very long time. But he's still averaging that triple-double just barely. Yeah, he's averaging 20.7 points per game. That's his fewest since his second year. Which is fine. I mean, I ain't even mad. Paul George is still he's the big scorer for the Thunder right now, and I still think Russ is an offensive threat. He's a go-to guy. You still get him the ball when he's hot for sure.
I have some things to say.
Go ahead.
It gets on my nerves to hear people talking about Russ, not being who he was, or he's definitely on the downside of his career and all this stuff. The dude's averaging 22 points and a triple-double. If that were to happen 5 years ago, it would be everywhere. ESPN would be all over it. But he has made this such a normal thing that it's 22 ridiculous. Points and a triple-double is below average for Russ.
And
that's insane. But to take that a step further, what was everybody saying when Russ was having to average 30 points for the Thunder to win? He needs some help. Yeah. He needs some help. Well, guess what? Help is here, and now his scoring's down, and people are complaining that his scoring's down.
That's true.
And I just, it's on my nerves. I don't understand, the thought process. And it's not just Thunder fans. It's people, around the league
really
talking
more
about
national
it.
Than
yeah, and I don't get that. It's all you wanted was Russ to have some help, and now it's here, and now you're complaining that he's not contributing what he once was.
And here's the thing. Even in a down year, quote-unquote for him, he is 8th in the league in plus-minus, which, by the way, shout out to Steven Adams at number 6. That's impressive to have two guys in the top 10, have Paul George at number 11, and
so close,
and Jeremy Grant at number 12.
I wanted to talk about
Thunder
Grant
has
too.
4 listen, without a doubt, this is, and I wonder where Schroeder's at 21. I'm just kind of looking down the list here. The Thunder has the best starting lineup in the league, right? What do you say?
No, hands down.
So far, they're ahead of. You look at the Warriors. Steph Curry's number 5 on plus minus, and then the next guy isn't until Kevin Durant at number 14. I'm just saying. That speaks volumes. But what I was really wanting to get at here is Russell Westbrook still has 7 triple-doubles. The league has seen a high volume, an increase in triple-doubles, if you will, lately. So, but the next highest is Ben Simmons, James Harden. They have 3 each. Which, by the way, James Harden has a negative plus or minus.
So
is that not great?
Someone was saying who would win on a one-on-one, James Harden or Kobe Bryant. And someone was like, well, if it was a free throw contest, James Harden hands down.
Listen, that's facts. We're just, I don't know. Anyways, so I do believe Russell Westbrook can play at a high level when it comes to defense, and if I am correct, he's leading the league in steals. Paul George is second. Do you think, and here's the thing, Russell Westbrook leading the league in steals is a bit deceptive. He is a huge benefactor of Paul George. And let's not forget, Terrence Ferguson is playing some pretty dang good defense. Mm-hmm. It almost makes you wonder how much is Andre Robertson really missed. Right. And you know I'm a big Dre fan.
Yeah.
I miss the dude. I want to see him back and healthy. But I'll just say that I like where we're at right now. Yeah. I like where we're going. Still room to improve on the offensive end, and I think we still are. We've seen the numbers on a gradual rise for the most part. But if Westbrook can buy in on defense like this,
I definitely think that when Andre gets healthy, he's definitely in danger of being shipped elsewhere.
Possibly. And I don't know if that'd be a bad thing.
I don't either.
For either.
It sucks because I'm just not liking the guy, and no.
I don't know if we will, just because I feel like he's on a pretty good contract, and I feel like he still has a place here. And, and that. So, but I hear you.
I'm just saying you've got Adams, Russ, Paul George, and Schroeder locked up for the next 3 to 4 years. I think Schroeder's only 3. Everybody else is the next 4, right?
Something like that. Different contract.
Yeah. Or no, 3 for Paul George, too, because he only did 4 years. But anyways, you've got your core locked up long term. I'm not sure, how much... If we're sitting here saying, the Thunder right now don't need Dre, you've got this roster locked up.
Guaranteed. So player options off the table.
Jeremy Grant got a new contract, too, right?
Guaranteed. We've got Russ, Paul George, Steven Adams, Schroeder.
Or am I making that up?
Sorry, we've got those 4 through 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right, so...
Jeremy Grant on a player option, 2021. And then we've got Terrence Ferguson on a team option, 2021. And then Hami and Nader through 2021. Okay? So...
Yeah.
For that's 2.5 more seasons of the main dudes.
Right.
That's... Man. That's wild.
Yeah. If Sam Presti doesn't win GM of the Year, something's wrong.
Now, listen, we said that last year.
No, I get that.
And so,
but this is completely different.
I agree.
I saw a tweet last night, and I knew this, but seeing it really put it out there. The Thunder have Paul George in the prime of his career.
Oh yeah.
If you would have told me that was going to happen 5 years ago,
that's pretty wild. So,
also, real quick,
go ahead.
Paul George is the same age that Russ was when he won MVP.
And
not that has anything to do with anything, but it's...
You trying to say Paul George MVP?
I am.
All right, Thunder fans, we're back talking more Thunder basketball. A little bit of Thunder things. I'm Zach.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Thunder guys. I didn't say this earlier, but if you're not, if you want to, give us a little follow on social media, Twitter, a little bit of Instagram, like us on Facebook.
We're
at
hilarious.
the Thunder guys. Dude, I gotta give you props. You were throwing out some mad tweets last night. They were solid.
Yeah, but also the night before was pretty solid too. When I was throwing the heat. That wasn't last night, right? No. Yeah.
Oh, at the people tripping about Russ?
Yeah.
That was a Friday night.
Yeah. I started some stuff.
Listen, we are not too big that we cannot talk with people.
If you're reasonable.
If you're reasonable. If
There's
you're
some
bad,
people I'm just I'm not
if you're
replying
bad,
to that.
we're going to talk to you and we're going to blow you out because make you look bad. But
like the dude with the terrible Avi. Man, that was...
What?
Hey, you didn't see that one?
I don't remember.
Where he told me, he said, nice analysis or something. And I was like, nice Abby. And it was some grown man with the Snapchat filter on or something like that.
Roasted.
Anyways.
For real
though. And shout out to our followers who backed me up on that. We had 4 or 5 people who commented L or, roasted or something like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having my back.
We love it when people chime in because, we like to talk Thunder basketball, whether it's, during our show, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
We like to talk. So, give us a follow, jump in, chat, whatever. Picking up where we left off. Paul George for MVP. Where do you put him right now in the MVP conversation?
I'd have to put him. I'm not gonna say he's the front runner, but I would have to put him up there at the top. Especially with the way the national media is portraying Westbrook's season. Then if you're gonna look at it that way, then you gotta for sure put Paul George up there. But
okay, looking at the Kia MVP ladder according to NBA.com, who do you think is number 1? Take a wild guess. Can't be that hard.
LeBron,
Of course.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Not Paul George.
Not Paul George.
Anthony Davis.
No.
I'm trying to think who's had a good season so far.
Don't just think about good season, but really good team, best player. Without him, there's no way they're doing this well. Toronto Raptors.
Oh, Kawhi? Yeah.
Kawhi's number 2.
That's a hype train if you ask me.
Man, I don't know.
They
Okay.
beat Golden State by 30 without him.
That's true. Okay, that's
I'm just saying, man.
next. Okay,
I'm
that's
just saying.
That's fair. He is averaging 26 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals.
I'm not saying he's having a bad season.
So, but you're right.
He's playing
you're right.
great, but
Which brings us to the Warriors. Steph Curry's at number 3, of course.
Really?
Giannis is number 4, who he was my preseason pick, and then. Sure, I guess Joel Embiid's.
You're about to tell me that he's not even in the top 5?
No. Number 6 is Kevin Durant, and number 7 finally is Paul George.
That's absurd, if you ask me.
Okay.
I would say he's top 3.
What's wild though is at 15 is Russell Westbrook. So remember those cats over at the Ringer the other day who said, "Is he a top 25 player?"
Yeah.
Is that not the most ridiculous question? That doesn't even make sense.
The media makes me mad. There was a thing running on SportsCenter the other day saying that is Kevin Durant a top 5 player? And I'm like,
listen,
as much as I hate the guy, yes,
Yeah.
he is. Like, why is that in question right now?
you hate us because you ain't us. Okay, that's what it comes down to. It's just absurd.
I feel like a lot of it's just stuff to talk about.
I feel like I should create an alternative WordPress account and only put out hate articles about players.
Because
People
that's
eat
what
that stuff up.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, let's face
some
it.
ad revenue on that thing.
If I see something bad about Westbrook, I'm like, oh, let's break into this, and then
Right.
instantly I'm talking about it, and obviously followers are talking about it, and that kind of thing. Getting spit over here all over my laptop.
It's okay. It means you're getting into it.
Yeah. So, but is he an MVP candidate? I feel like, of course he is. He's having an outstanding season, and it's pretty obvious that without him, the Thunder would not be playing super well. Let's take some looks here. First off, he's averaging career high in points, tied for a career high in personal fouls. Let's not forget. Just kidding. I mean, he is, but that doesn't matter. 2.9. So career high in points, career high in blocks, career high in steals, career high in assists, career high in rebounds, career high. Almost a career high in effective field goal percentage, which is, a mix of 2-point, 3-point, free throw. He could be shooting better from 3, and I feel like that's kind of where he's down a little bit there.
But as of late, I mean,
He has.
I feel like that's early on is hurting his overall stats right now.
He's not even shooting. He's not even playing a career high in minutes. He's playing since he returned from his injury. He's playing close to the fewest he's played.
I hate to say this just because I don't want to jinx it, but it's almost getting to the point where when Paul George shoots a 3, I'm like, it's going in.
I feel pretty good about it.
And it's he's been doing this thing where he follows his shot and kind of drifts forward, and it looks awful. I'm like, there's no way that's happening, and every time it's like right there. So
and I mean, I ain't mad about it.
Here's my problem with the other MVP candidates. LeBron, I feel like they're about where I expected them to be. Maybe a little higher, 4th or 5th. Are they at 5 right now? I feel like if they were like top 3.
They're 4th.
Okay, I feel like if they're like top 3, 2, then yeah, LeBron. But I mean, I feel like they're doing.
I think it's fair because of how bad the Lakers really are without him. I do want to add that he's 86th in the league in plus minus.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if they were.
I don't.
If they were somehow up at the top, then yeah. With Kawhi, it's, like I said, hype train. Toronto has the best record in the league right now. I think, right? Still? They've not played well lately. They've been struggling, but,
You're right, though.
Who was at 3, you said?
Steph.
I
think the only deal with that is
I don't even need to say anything about that.
I don't think he's played enough games, really. I mean, he was hurt for quite some time.
It is fair that, he was out and they struggled. But I'll give him that.
Oh, wow. You lost your arguably best player, him or Kevin Durant. Listen, it all depends on the role that they play.
But then Kevin Durant at 5? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Are you that valuable to your team if there's 2 of you in the top 5? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
would say that Paul George.
If the Thunder
deserves
loses
to
Paul
be
George, I feel like they're struggling a lot more than the Warriors were without Steph or Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying. If the Thunder loses Russell Westbrook, what happens? We're struggling. That's kind of how it goes. I don't know.
The season will play itself out, and we'll see.
It will.
We'll see.
And that's why the Thunder are in third right now. And they lost to Denver twice already. And I ain't happy, but I ain't even worried. I still got that division title in sight. Got that Western Conference title in sight.
It's been a minute.
Going for the finals. It has. It's been a few years. And that's okay.
It was like every year for a while, and then we got spoiled there.
We did. It was like 2000... What was it, 11? The 2010-2011 season through, like, the year that Kevin Durant...
Yeah.
No,
was it earlier than that?
I can't remember.
I don't know.
We had several. But anyways, so let's talk Paul George Defensive Player of the Year. Who else even comes to mind?
Giannis, I guess. Kawhi.
I mean, I feel like always.
Yeah. I'm
Kawhi's
just
always
throwing up
there.
some ideas. I haven't seen anything as far as what they're saying. So
there's no current like rankings or anything like that. But I feel like he's definitely going to be up there. He's definitely going to be first team all defense. I feel like. And yeah, so I don't know.
Rudy Gobert, if he can play past the first 3 minutes of the game.
He's not impressed me. The Jazz obviously struggling big time. And I'm loving it. The Western Conference standings are almost hilarious.
Yeah.
Because the top, I got to count here, 4, 6, 8, 10.
I feel like the East is
the top
actually
11 teams have a 500 record or better, whereas only the top 5 teams in the West have a 500 record or better. That's wild. Now, the East has the best team in Toronto. And then, they've got a few solid teams. But Houston, actually, let's go to San Antonio, who's like, what is that, 12th? 11th? They're 11th in the West. They have a better record than the 6th team in the East.
And, I mean, it's going to be that way. I'm just glad.
But it's time to go to the top 16 teams, is it not?
I don't know.
Well, why? What is the big deal?
Because
East versus West trash? Like, I get it, but, man.
It's going to shift. It always does.
Does it, though? I mean, the East was powerful in the 90s, but they haven't been since Michael Jordan retired.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? It's been, you think the Lakers, the Spurs, the Pistons were good. Mm-hmm. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. The Heat were good. LeBron's been good. Wherever he is, they win. But as a conference, they have not been good. I mean, I'm thinking like the East early days, like early 90s. You had Michael Jordan with the Bulls. You had the Detroit Pistons.
I don't know, man.
They were good back then.
I'm just glad that at least they have 5 solid teams right now.
That's better than nothing.
As opposed to recent years where
like
it's
2
been
or 3.
Yeah, so
that's fair. Okay, we need to go back. We didn't get to talk about the Kerfuffles.
Oh yeah, Kerfuffle time.
And you got to watch. You watched the Denver game, correct?
Yes.
You were working while it was on, but I was actually coaching a basketball game, so I didn't get to watch it. But I watched the replay, and let me just let me lay out what happened for those who did not watch it, who didn't get to see it. So there's a jump ball, tip ball, or they're gonna throw the ball up for the tip. They're gonna try to get it. You get what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
There's a jump ball.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
And there's like a minute and a half left in the game. It's pretty, if that, it's decided. It's pretty much over. And Jamal Murray's standing still, and Russ says, "Nah, fam, that's my spot."
Yeah.
And he moves Jamal Murray out of the way. And Jamal Murray's got kind of a reputation, kind of like Russell Westbrook does, I guess you could say, in the sense of being a punk. So Russell Westbrook is a punk, Jamal Murray's a punk back, and now all of a sudden we have a kerfuffle. And in the process, somehow Russ ends up looking at Jokic, and he says, "I'm going to blank you up." He's like, "I will blank you up."
Yeah. Well, what he said was, to the ref, was like, "We're good," talking about him and Murray.
Yeah.
But he was like, "But Like, but I'll F you up, Jokic. Yeah, so, like...
So, here's my thing.
I don't know what the deal was with that,
Listen,
but I thought it was funny.
Watching it, Russ is totally in the wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He is not innocent in this one at all. He deserved...
I'm glad that...
He got a tech, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The game was over. He's mad because they lost. And I'm...
It had been coming for a long time. Like, Russ was mad.
And here's my thing.
And I feel like he was kind of looking for something.
I tell this to the noobs whenever I'm playing Xbox. Don't get mad, get better.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way towards Russ. You know, I defend him in just about everything he does. But in this case...
It's kind of hard to defend
It is.
the guy.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
He was in the wrong, and there's no doubt about that. And, you know, it happens. Everybody loses their temper every once in a while. No biggie.
I just think back to the, is it going to be different conversation we were having? And I feel like...
The technicals?
Yeah. I feel like...
Oh, man. I completely forgot about my bold prediction.
I feel like it's out of the window.
Do you remember how many I said? Single digits, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think I said single digits. I got to look up that stat.
I just feel like
There's no way he doesn't have...
Russ has been Russ. And there's nothing wrong with that if you ask me. You know, if that happens early in the game, I'm probably more mad about it. But the game was over. He's in the wrong. It was stupid. Yeah. Let's move on. And we did.
So let's move on to last night's game.
Where Russ wasn't in the wrong.
Well, hold on. Whoa.
Go ahead, explain it.
Explain it.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, he's only got 8 technicals so far. That ain't right. That is not updated. How many games have we played? 29. This says only 21. Wait. Well, no. Russ has only played 21 games.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So he's only got 8 technicals. He still has like 7 to go. He's good. We're almost halfway, sort of. We're like 40%.
Yeah, but how many did you predict he was going to have?
I said single digits, I believe.
So you're gonna. That's out.
Well, let's go back to last night.
8 out of 21 games, he's received a technical foul.
So, under more than a third of the time. So let's say he plays out and he plays 70 games. Mm-hmm. He's on pace to hit like 20-something technicals.
Let's hope not, because...
What does he do? He gets it up around 13, 14, and he's like, I know where I'm at. And then he calls it, and he's good.
I'd love for him to get to that point early in the season, and then just the rest of the season he's just like...
Well, here's the deal. Last night, he's chilling on an inbounds play, trying to get the ball, and it looks like he kind of makes contact with Chris Dunn. And Chris Dunn, like, they do this whole thing where they throw their arms up, and Russ is like, what's up? What's going on?
Right.
Chris Dunn escalates it and shoves him, and Westbrook takes a step back and he's like, refs, are you seeing this? And then my favorite part of the event happens. Jeremy Grant comes over like, nah fam, you ain't doing this. He gets in Chris Dunn's face and kind of shoves him. Here comes Robin Lopez to defend his teammate, and that's fair. Grabs Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant gives him a little spin judo flip onto the ground, and here comes Chicago's coach. Gets him in some kind of, like, somebody called it a cobra lock. Did you see who was caught in the madness? In between the coach and Jeremy Grant. All you see is Cameron Payne's little fuzzy head, and he's pinned, and he's stuck. And
I didn't catch that part.
Okay, I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you. It's hilarious. He's stuck, and he's like, trying to wiggle free, but he can't because Jeremy Grant's being dragged off. I was cracking up. So the aftermath is cleared, and the refs decide technical on Chris Dunn for obvious reasons, technical on Jeremy Grant for obvious reasons, technical on Robin Lopez for obvious reasons, technical on Russell Westbrook for I have no idea why. No clue.
Right.
Now,
Adams didn't get one, did he?
He did not.
Which I'm glad, because the last time he stepped in to kind of stop something, he got one.
No.
Which was ridiculous.
My boy AD, Antonio Daniels, in the post-game show, he goes, all I know is anytime there's an event that's happening, a scuffle, or I can't remember what he called it, whatever it is, I'm glad that we got Steven Adams on our team.
Well, did you see how he grabbed his arm?
He did. Robin Lopez is doing this action, and he just grabbed it, and it was like...
I want to know what he said, because he was saying stuff, too.
Calm down, sir.
But he's always just stone cold, like, just straight face, and honestly, I feel like he definitely was the one who kind of... The refs deserve some credit. Of course. And
for de-escalating?
Yeah, but Adams, I mean...
He was as heated as I've seen somebody in a long time when it comes to basketball.
Yeah. Lopez.
Well...
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
You just said he.
Oh,
we were
already
Robin
talking about
Adams, so I was trying to...
But anyways, he was mad. He was a mad kid. And then later on in the game, he fouls Jeremy Grant hard.
Yeah.
Gets the rebound, and then he throws it at his no-nos. at his family jewels while he's on the ground. And Jeremy Grant catches it, and he just smiles up at him like a little kid who's just seen Santa Claus or something. And obviously, Robin Lopez gets another tech. He's ejected. In the post game, they ask him, Robin, what happened? And he goes, well, the refs, they had a long night. They had a tough night up to that point, so I was just trying to make their job a little bit easier. Jeremy Grant was shooting free throws, so I just tried to give him the ball, obviously being sarcastic about it. And that's fine. He knew he was going to be gone. He didn't care. They were blown out. Yeah. He was mad. He got to throw in his 2 cents about it, whatever, and that's fine. Obviously, the Thunder in strong. So I feel like Russ was in the wrong in Denver, but I don't feel like he even deserved a technical when it came to...
Yeah. That's reviewable, right?
That's the thing. They reviewed it, and the ref...
No. I mean, later on, like they can choose to rescind it, right?
They can, but I feel like they would have done that. I need to. I guess I can look it up and see if I haven't seen anything today. But anyways, man, now I lost my train of thought. Look at what you did.
It's all right.
I can't remember where I was going.
We're talking about rescinding technical fouls.
We're talking about Russell Westbrook. He was guilty in Denver. I did not think he was guilty last night. I could not believe the way that it went down. And it's whatevs. It's going to happen. I guess I ain't mad.
Yeah.
But that leads me to, I guess, my next my next question here. If you're ranking the Thunder in terms of fighters, now we watch a lot of UFC together. Mm-hmm. You know a lot more about like technique and stuff like that than I do. I like to watch because it's fun. But when it comes down to it, where do you see the Thunder players? Who do you see as being if a kerfuffle is breaking out, if another throwdown is about to happen? Who do you got and why?
I would say, first off, obviously, Steven Adams, off of pure intimidation. And also, I don't feel like...
Is that even a question?
Here's the thing, is how many times have you seen Steven Adams, like, really, really mad?
Once, ever.
Yeah.
And it was one of those where the refs stepped in quick enough to where, like, listen, I feel like if he gets his hands on somebody, he's going to rip their arms off and blood's just going to be spraying everywhere.
See, that's why I'm putting him at number 1 is because I feel like the reason he doesn't allow himself to get to that level is because he's afraid of what will happen. He's like, dude, I'll mess you up. Like, I'm not here to mess around.
For real.
And, I mean, I wrote an article whenever he was, coming onto the scene. And it was when we first started the website. It was, I wrote it in the summer. And the dude was straight up in a gang in New Zealand. Like, he was, put into a private school. Because of,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was, in rough, in the streets, and so his, whoever, it wasn't his parents, I don't think, maybe it was, they put him in a private school, and that's how they kind of,
Which, by the way, this might go on with that. I purchased his new book.
I want to go back real quick.
It just came out, and I'm not ready yet, so I'm sure he's talking.
Yeah, I don't want to go back. I don't know that he was in a gang, so I don't quote me on that, but he was definitely affiliated with gangsters and stuff like that, and so his parents put him in the private school to kind of get him away from that negative side of things and straighten him up. So yes, I feel like the dude is for real. I would not mess with him, and like Antonio Daniels said, I'm glad he's on our team. Second, I would go with Russ, based off of pure athleticism and skill,
and just I'm a punching machine. He's quick.
I feel like Russ would tune you up as opposed to where Adams would just rip you apart, if that makes any sense.
It does completely. Okay, so I feel like those two guys are the obvious ones.
Yeah. I'll say Alex Abrines. I'm putting him at the bottom.
Okay, because he doesn't seem like...
Yeah. He seems like...
I don't know. Who else?
I'm not questioning his manhood or anything. I'm just saying he's...
I'm going to throw Jeremy Grant in the mix.
Yeah.
Because the past few times, those two incidents that have involved Russ, Jeremy Grant's right in the thick of it, and he's not afraid to go toe-to-toe with anybody to protect his point guard. Who else would you throw in the mix? Because I got a specific guy in mind that I would definitely want on my side if we're doing throwdowns. You looking at the roster right now?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about. I'm gonna say you're going for Nerlens.
No,
No?
sorry.
No,
He could trip and break a leg.
get out of here.
He's thin. Listen,
I know he is.
No, listen.
but still.
I love what he's done for the Thunder, but we're talking about a street fight here. We're talking about a brawl. Sorry, man. He's not
Schroeder.
Listen, maybe because he's German. I don't know. No, for real though. I could maybe see that out of him, but that's not who I'm thinking of. You're missing what I feel like is the most obvious choice after we picked Russ and Adams. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Thick Daddy Ray.
See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Wow, are you
But
kidding?
He seems like he's got some hands. Like
Raymond Felton.
some
Listen,
quick hands.
he's a veteran. He knows people, and I feel like that's part of the know the game, know your opponent. That's part of fighting. Okay. We were watching the Max Holloway Brian Ortega fight the other day, and Max Holloway almost not every single one, but on a number of Ortega's punches. Where's Max?
Not
He
there.
barely moves. His fist is right there, but it doesn't touch him. That tells me Holloway's watched film. He knows what his reach is, and he knows just how far. He was just out of reach how many times? Over
Yeah.
and over again. That's Raymond Felton to me. He knows his opponent. He's ready to throw. And listen,
Okay.
he's a scrappy little guy. You know, maybe I mentioned to him before the scrap, hey, we win this, we're going out for cheeseburgers. And he's on top of things, I don't know. But he's the kind of guy that I can see definitely.
Going for cheeseburgers.
We go, I'll get you a double-double, all right? I can see him in the middle of it. Outside of those guys, I don't know, maybe Deontay Burton, Thick Daddy Jr.
Maybe.
Yeah. But besides that, I'm not really sure. Some of these rookies, I'm thinking of Hami, young guy, T-Ferg. There's some skinny guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they look. I'm not trying to put them down at all. All right. So if they happen to catch our show, hit us up. We'll bring you on and we'll talk about it. Okay.
But we're agreeing that Alex is at the bottom, right?
I don't know. He's a tall dude. He's got that on his side. But besides that, yeah, I'm kind of feeling you on that one. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where he would fall in the middle of that. But anyways, last topic here. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at our weekly forecast. We have the Kings in Sacramento tomorrow, the Jazz in Utah on Saturday, and then at home against the T-Wolves on Sunday. And that's probably when we're going to do our next show, so we'll go ahead and stop there. Sacramento has been...
They've had our number.
They have. Have we lost to them twice?
Yeah.
We've not beat them at all
No.
yet. That's not good.
No. I don't want to say this is a must-win, but, I mean...
I feel like...
In the grand scheme of things, no.
We need to wrap it up.
If you don't want to lose a season series to somebody,
Yeah.
you know.
Listen, in the words of Kendrick Perkins, it's the Kings. Okay? We got to cut this out. I can't even remember what it is. The all-time head-to-head. I'm about to look it up. Hold on. But we went a time where it was like years where we had not lost to them. Like multiple, like several years. And that's how it should be, in my opinion. We went... Okay, so the first... Even our first season when we were trash, we beat them 2-1. Okay? So, we beat them 2-1 the first season, 3-1 second, 4-0 third, 3-1 next, 3-0, 4-0. You see where I'm 3-1.
Yeah.
And then 2015-16, that was which year was that? That was Durant's last season. 2-2. Year without Durant, 2-1. Last season, 3-1. We've given them 2 wins for only the second time in Thunder history. That ain't good.
Gotta change that.
Yeah, turn it around. Now, I will throw in the Kings are they look pretty good. They've been
definitely
solid.
exceeded my expectations.
Well, yeah, I think they've exceeded everybody's expectations.
Fair.
They're, I believe, 8th or 9th in the standings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they're 9th in the Western Conference. That's just because the conference is so stacked. They're right on the edge there. They're 9-11 in the conference. And I don't know. We need to win that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Without a doubt.
For sure.
And then we look at Utah.
Divisional team.
Division game. They are 14th in the Western Conference.
Mm-hmm.
They're 14-17. They
definitely
are,
not exceeding expectations.
not at all. There was talk of them potentially being a 2 seed.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a bit laughable. I thought they overperformed last season, and I think it's showing up in a big way.
Yeah.
Listen,
I still think it's going to be a tough game.
It will be, and here's why, and I'll tell you why. They've got I think they might have the road heaviest schedule so far in the NBA. They've played 20 games. They've got the longest, the most road games in the league. For comparison, the Thunder only has 14 games on the road. So this is a home game for them. Utah's a tough place to play anyway because they don't have a lot to do in Salt Lake City. They're not allowed to drink caffeine and stuff like that. All those Mormons or whatever it is. I can't remember what their rules are. Who knows? All I know is I love my wife very much. If I had more than one, God help me. So it is going to be a tough game. And then we move on to Minnesota, who's 13th in the Western Conference.
I want to say,
go ahead.
I'm glad that this game is at home. Have you seen their record? 12-4 at home.
Oh my gosh.
2-12 on the road.
Is that not? I think that's the most polarizing record.
Yeah, I mean they are a great team at home, but on the road not so much. So I'm as a Thunder fan, obviously.
The Mavs are right there with them.
Lucky to be.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that Thunder is one of the few teams in the league that has a decent road record.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how long that'll last. We'll see.
Hopefully all season.
Yes.
Listen, I'm gonna say 3 in a row.
I agree.
I'm thinking we extend this win streak to 5, and we're very happy campers when we meet again on Sunday to talk.
And then we're rolling into Christmas Day in Houston against the bottom feeders of the Western Conference. Listen, I cannot stand the Rockets, and I'm so glad to see them playing so poorly. It really does just it cheers my soul, I guess you could say. So I'm going to agree with you here. 3-0 on the week. We'll be back on Sunday, sometime in the afternoon time. We'll be live on Facebook. Can't say the same for Crossover Radio. So you may be listening to us delayed on Monday or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But either way, thanks again for tuning in. You've been watching on Facebook Live, maybe YouTube after the fact, Crossover Radio with a Purpose. Whatever you're doing, make sure you keep your Thunder in the up position because we've got a long season left. And I'm
exciting one.
It is. I'm excited. I'm excited about the direction we're heading. So, I guess I should probably play some outro music.
Cue that music, bro.
Cue that music. Yeah, there it is. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and scoot out. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to check us out on the interwebs, heartland-sports.com. You can check out our Thunder section of the blog, read about everything we're writing, tune in. On Sunday, again, we'll be back, and make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Give us a like on Facebook, at The Thunder Guys. Thanks again, and I guess that's it. Stay tuned, Thunder up, and we will catch you guys later.